President, if the lady will kindly reply to a few questions, Your Honor. But before that, I'd like to put on record my full support for the thrust of your privileged speech, Your Honor.
Thank you very much. It is fully appreciated and in character with Senator Pimentel, who is famous in our country for his probity.
Thank you, ma'am. Your Honor's speech should really be supported by every right-thinking Filipino because of the fact that cabinet members have at their control billions of pesos that we appropriate for the running of their departments to attain the objective of serving our people. But obviously, a good segment of these funds find their way for private purposes of the office holder. And therefore, I'd like to suggest that upon verification by yourself, Your Honor, you can probably include the name of Secretary Yap of the Department of Agriculture in your recommendations. And I don't know whether we should also include Secretary Durano. He also has lots of advertisements, but considering the department that he is heading, which is tourism, maybe there's a little justification for it. And besides, he has not announced that he was running for senator or anything. My own position, Your Honor, is that a cabinet member who announces his or her candidacy should immediately resign from that office in order to promote, as Senator Gordon pointed out, a more level playing field. On the other hand, I think a distinction has to be made between those who are holding appointive positions from those who are already holding elective positions, like our colleagues, for example, many of whom are running for the Senate and are also competing with the cabinet members that Your Honor has pointed out. Now, I don't know, Your Honor, can you kindly please elucidate on that point, if at all it is worth making a distinction of that kind between the appointive official and the elective official?
My first concern as a student of the Constitution is that it might violate the Equal Protection Clause of the Constitution because it might be claimed that the distinction between elective on the one hand and appointive on the other hand is arbitrary. So it will all depend on the test that has been laid down by the U.S. Supreme Court and which has now been adopted by the Philippine Supreme Court. The test is that there should be a compelling public necessity to make the distinction. It's no longer the fourfold test by Justice Laurel in that old case. The test is now compelling state necessity to make the distinction. If Your Honor thinks that there is such a compelling state necessity, then we will reach the same conclusion.
Yes, the thing that I can see immediately, Your Honor, is the fact that an elected, for example, a senator is running for the same office. He does not have at his command, appropriations from, you might say, from the government, over which he has absolute control. In other words, unlike the cabinet member who occupies